Hi everyone, Emma here. I have this gorgeous bracelet I am going to show you how to make. So this is a design of mine. Now if you've seen it somewhere, let me know. Then it may not be a design of mine. So I've seen these kind of weaves done before, but I've never seen it done in this way. So I altered it. Like I haven't, I couldn't even tell you what. I think I've seen it done with bicones is what I'm getting at. So I wanted to show you how to do this because I love this. And like I said, I switched up the pattern so that if you look, you've got this right angle weave squares, but when you put them together in this orientation, you get this happening. Let me enlarge this a bit so you know what I'm talking about. So then you get something like this happening. So you get this pattern of the pearls. So you get a circle and the squares at the bottom. So if you see it now, all these patterns of circles down the middle. So I think it's gorgeous. Look at. So this is done with 4mm pearls. The other thing I like about this is you don't need a lot of stuff for this. So you need 4mm pearls. I have the wrong beads here. Let me grab the right ones. I have 15s, but it takes 11 seed beads. So we'll grab those. So that's the 11 seed beads there. And you're going to need some 3mm bugles. So these are the 3mm kind of, you can't quite see it, but these are called #1 bugles. These are Tohos. They are exquisite. They're pretty much even now. I did kind of pull out some. There's one right here that's slightly shorter. You may not notice it to look at, but then when you put it in a pattern, you might notice it. You may not, so it's up to you. So this one's called Silver Line Light Topaz, and it is gorgeous. I call them gold. They look gold to me. So there you go. So let's take a look at how to make this. And you're going to need a clasp, and you need your needle and thread, of course. So you need a clasp. Preferably with this design, you need a 2-hole clasp. But you know what? You can actually change this, and rather than go through this bead, you can bring it down on an angle and go through one bead and create your clasp that way with whatever closure you have. If you have a lobster claw, it would work as well. So there's the other side of that. So let's go ahead. We'll try a different color. So I have this color here, and I'll show you this one because what we're going to do is we're going to do a set here, and I'm going to show you this piece here, this angled piece. Yeah, I'll show you how to add that angled piece. And then I have another bracelet that's completed, but I didn't put the clasp on, and I'll show you how to put the clasp on. And this one here, so these were, I think, called blush pink, and they have the light topaz beads on it. And this one is, this is peach. I call this cream. It looks a little more like a off-white cream color, but they call this peach. And these are 4 mils. And again, I use the same, or did I? No, these are different. These ones are gold-lined rainbow crystal. Oh, and they have a rainbow AB finish that shimmer. You can kind of see it. So, but what I want to do is do a totally different color. So let's get those out of the way so they don't get caught up in our line. And we need these, and we need our 11 seed beads. We're gonna do red pearls and gold. I think that's decadent. So let's grab our needle, and I've already got some thread on there. You're gonna need lots of thread for this. So I'm just going to show you one set, so we'll probably have enough. I hope we have enough thread. And just going to cut that and pull a bunch of these off. That's probably enough for what we're going to do. So let's move these to the corner here. And I have a stop bead. So let's put out some bugles. And some 11-ohs. Oh, my light is too bright here. And some 11-ohs. So pick up your stop bead. And you're going to leave a tail. So for this design, you need a long enough tail so that you can attach your clasp, but we're not going to attach the clasp to this. And I want to make sure we have enough to complete what I want to show you. So I'm just going to bring it to the end. That's kind of one of those things as preference for you, how you want to do that. You want to put a new fresh piece of thread on to add your clasp. I'm going to go through a second time here just to, because it's a bigger bead. Okay, so we're set to go. So let me just see where I started. Actually, you might not need a stopper bead now that I think of it, but so let's start with our, if you look here, so I put, so if this is the design pattern here, I put a set on this side. So I start with the pearls. You don't have to. You can put your diamonds on the corner and put pearls here and then move up to your pattern. So let's start with our, so actually I'm going to start with an 11-0 and a 4mm pearl, 11-0, 4mm pearl, 11-0, 4mm pearl, 11-0, 4mm pearl. So that is what you have to start with. So you're going to bring it down to your stop bead and you're going to go through these all again. Get through here, through. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a loop, and that's your first little flower kind of design. Just get my thread out there. Just bring that down. That's it. That's how. Okay, we're done. Only, right? So now what we want to do is I try and stay away from this thread, or like if we could have just put this into a knot and hidden the knot. So I am going to bring my thread over to this side. So we're going to work this way and then come back down. So let's go through. Go through this 11-0. Through the pearl, through the next 11-0, and just put that out of the way, bring it nice and tight, okay, and then go through the next one. Yeah, we need to go through the 11-0 there. Okay, so now we are ready to put our bugles on. So we already have a bead for our bugle, so I'm pointing that out because in this design we are going to borrow beads all the time. So just remember and attach it accordingly, but you can always just follow the video. Wow! So I'm picking up a bugle, an 11-0, a bugle, an 11-0, a bugle, 11-0. So we have 3, we need 1 more. There, so this is what we have. 11-0, or bugle, 11-0, bugle, 11-0, bugle. Okay, so we're coming out of this side here. We're going to go in this opposite side and pull it down and bring it tight. I'm just going to flip my work so I can work from the right hand side like this. So now you're going to go through everything. And I say that, but there's a but. So we'll start out by going through this bugle and through this 11-0. And I'll explain. It's sometimes hard to explain because I get ahead of myself. I apologize. So we're going to go through the next bugle. And I just hang on to it, pull it tight. So now we're going to skip this 11-0. And the reason we're skipping it is we want this bugle to sit next to this one here. So what that does is it pops the bead up, and we're going to do that around on the others. We couldn't do that here because we needed to attach it at first, so that's the only reason why we skipped it, but we will do it on the next round. And when you go through your stuff a few times, so you see how that popped that bead up, that's what you want. I'm going to enlarge this a bit. I think you guys need to see this better. And you know, some people may have done bracelets like this before. So this is basically right angle weave all the way through, but you're attaching them. So it starts to look complicated, but it's not. And once you do one bracelet using it, you will see how easy things go. So this one doesn't want to pop up the way it should. So you just bring that strand of thread down a bit and grab that bead and kind of just yank it up there like that. And then pull your thread again, and there you go, it pops it in. So we're going to do that on this side. We're just going to do that all the way around. We need to get to the other side anyway to add our next set of pearls. These are tiny, so if you have trouble with your hands and your eyes, this may be a little more than you want to handle. But if you can handle it, it's so much fun. So now we'll go through this one here. And pull tight and pop that bead up the other way. There. And pull it, and there we go. And that, so it really kind of makes it set up nicely. There. Okay, so now we're going to go through this 11-0, and we're going to put our next set of pearls on. I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. It was just an idea I had. So pick up our 11-0s and our pearls. And the last, whoops, they went bye-bye. There's 3. I don't even know where the other one went. Okay, so we have, sorry I keep moving around here. There's your common 11-0. So you're going to need 4 pearls and 3 11-0s. So the 11-0s are in between the pearls. So we are coming out of this side here. We're going to go in the opposite side like that. And pull it through. And just going to flip my work so I can come back around, and we are going to secure this. So right now it's kind of loose and floppy, and I find the pearls a little floppier than the bugles. The bugles, once you get them in there, they want to stay. So just go through and tighten everything. Go through all of them. Go through again. Go through this 11O as well, like that. Pull it all tight, nice tight. Oh, this is gonna look lovely. And it's already starting to get nice and rigid, so that's awesome. I love that feeling when it starts to feel like it's, forming something like a bracelet rather than just a bunch of loose beads on a strand of thread. It's very satisfying. Okay, so now what we need to do, we have 2 sets of pearls and 1 diamond shape. Now we're going to put a diamond shape on where this pearl is and one on this side, and we're going to put the pearls here, and I'll just show you the example. So we have 2 pearls. Now we're going to put a diamond shape, then a pearl, then a diamond shape. And that's going to create our first set, and then we're going to work on that one. So we need to be in this 11O to attach our next set of bugles. So we already have the one 11O, so we'll pick up 1, 2, 3, and 4 bugles. Oh, look, there's 2 11Os there. Let's see if I can get that back on. Nope. Nice try. There's 3. Let's bring this down. And there's our 4th one here. Okay, let's pick this up. So we're coming out of that side. We're going to go into the other side. Close our loop. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to go through this bugle, through that 11O, through the next bugle. I'm going to flip this just to make it easier for me to get through here. Trying to do it upside down is not working. Like that. Pull tight. Go through the bugle. I'm going to skip this next. I probably could have skipped that one. Actually, let's do that now that I think of it. So we'll skip that 11O, and that'll pop it into place. And the next bugle, pop that, and that one's popped. And we are going to go through the next bugle and skip that 11O. There. And we are going to skip that 11O and go through this. Actually, we can go through the, let's skip that one too, because we need to come to this one over here. So we might as well skip it a second time here. So that bead didn't pop the way I wanted it, so just grab it with your needle and move it over like that. Pull that through, and there you go. So then go through your bugle and your 11-0. So now this is where the design gets a little different because we need to share this 11-0 and that is going to hold it all together. So if you just take your needle and put it across to the next, so we're going from this 11-0 to that 11-0. So just put your needle there and take a look at what that looks like. So we are putting the 4mm pearls in this section. So if you look, we have an 11-0, we're missing a pearl, and an 11-0. So all we have to put on this is a 4mm pearl. Okay, so we grab that, put it on there. So now it attaches everything. Now we're just going to add the rest of our little combination here. So we already have 111.0 here, so we go to the 4mm. We need a pearl, I mean 11.0, another pearl, an 11.0, pearl, 11.0. Actually, we don't need that last 11.0. Let's do it this way here. Okay, so this is what you need for this. So you need 3 4mm pearls and 2 11.0s. Okay, you're coming out of this bead here. You're going to go into this 11.0 here, and that's going to create your loop of pearls, and that will complete it. And you know, this may seem really like I'm going into a lot of detail and explanation on this, but I love doing these bracelets. I find you can just grab any bead and put it together like this and create these incredible combinations. So I like that, you know, to show it to somebody so that they understand and won't get confused when they're doing it. So that's why I go into great detail explaining why, you know, we're sharing this bead, we're doing that. So hopefully it will cement it. So now I'm going to go through and secure everything. So I'm passing through all the beads again. Now you don't have to, you can just bring your thread to the next spot, but it's definitely a good idea to go through it. And that's why I say it uses a lot of thread, because you'll be passing through, especially your pearls, they get really loosey-goosey, so you want to go through them twice and then bring your thread back around to the position that you need it for the next combination. So now you can see it's getting nice and rigid. So just go through here like that. So you can see how quickly this is starting to look like something. So now we have our 11-0, let's grab. So here is another, let's pause and think about this. So for this one, we were going in this circle. Well, for this one, our thread is coming out on this side. So now our circle is going to churn the other way. And in doing that, now we have, even though we have this area and this area that has to be joined, it's going to be joined at the end. So what we're going to need here is we're going to need a set of 3. Then we're going to pass through this bead, and then we're going to add 1 to connect it. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I'm picking up 3 bugles and 2 11-0s. That one looks small to me. Okay. So this is what I have. So 3 bugles and 2 11-0s, separating them. Coming out of here, we're going to go into this 11-0 here. Pull that through. And now we need a bugle to complete this. Okay, so we need a bugle to close it up. We're going to go through this 11-0. I'm just going to pull that through. like that. And as you pull it tight, it starts, you can see the shape. So let's go ahead and go through this bugle. So we're coming out of this 11-0. Let me see if I can put my needle in here and skip that 11-0. We're going to try and get that to pop nicely. So this one, this bugle looks a bit small to me. We'll see if it makes a difference. I have a very uncanny ability to know measurements, so I can look at something and tell you how long it is. It's a weird skill that I have. You know what? It's probably not like that weird. I'm a nurse, a retired nurse, and we measure everything and we document what we measure. So you learn very quickly how to, what 3 centimeters looks like when you're describing a wound or a cut, or, same with how many milliliters to something if you're measuring that. So yeah, just an aside. Some leftover skills from nursing. The funny thing is, I had that skill before nursing. Maybe that's why I went into nursing. All about measuring. So now we're going to bring our thread up to this one, because now we're going to add a set of pearls. So we can skip that 11-0 again. And we're going to go through the bugle and the 11-0. There, like that. So I'm going to set that down. We already share the 111-0, so we're just going to need 4 pearls and a few 11-0s to separate them. So just scoop one and then the other. So this part here, when you start a new row, you're always going to need 4, because at this point 4 of your main thing. So if it's your bead or your bugle, you're always going to need 4 on the ends, because you're starting, it's the first one. Once you get one there and you go to the next one, then it's going to share, because it's sharing the one next to it. I hope that's not confusing. I had to think about that. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that may be confusing. So there we have it. We're coming out of this side here. We're gonna go in this side, and that will close the loop. Like that. And let me flip this so that we can go through that quickly. So go through everything again. Nice and tight. Through. Like that. And come back around. We're going to come back around to this bead here. So it's still pretty loose, but once we start coming around, it will tighten up. That. See if we can get that down that way. And go through. Now we're going to get to this 11-0. That. Now we're going to put a set of bugles in this section. So we don't need our 11-0s. Let me grab. And we just need the one on this side. So let's grab a bugle. Coming out of that bead, we're going to go into this one. Oh, I got looped here. There we go. Okay, now we're going to add 3. Set that down here. This looks really small. Move that aside. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. 3 bugles, 2 11-0s. We've already got one there. We're coming out of this side. We're going to go in this side. And let's see if we can get this to, yeah, we need this through here. But we're going to pop our bead on that one. Go through here. So we're going through all the bugles and skip your beads for the second time around. But make sure you pull it tight. And make sure that doesn't happen. So just push it down, pull it tight, move it down. Let's see if I can get that in there. And pull tight. Next bugle. And move your bead over like that. Pull it so that it pops. Go through the next bugle. And pop your bead up. There we go. And skip this next 11-0 and go to your bugle. It's not that they're tight, it's they're slippery, so the needle is just sliding over the bead. So now we're going to go up the next bugle and through the 11-0, through that 11-0. Okay, so we started down here. We put this guy in like that. And now we're going to put, so we're just alternating every time. So if you see, we're coming out of here on the left or the right side. So our thread has to go to the right and loop around. So we need 3 pearls and some 11-0s. Pearl, 11-0. That bead doesn't have a hole in it. And that's it. That's what we need for that. So 3 pearls, 2 11-0s. Coming out of this side here, and we're going to go into here like that. There's almost complete. We need 1 more pearl to complete it. My beads are moving all over the place. It's not me, it's the beads. They're special magic beads. They move. They're moving all over the place. And close it up. And we're going to go through this to secure it. So this is one of my favorite designs to do. I was going to say sitting by the campfire. Not quite. I'm sure there's people out there in their mobile homes sitting by the campfire doing stuff like this. But no, sitting by the TV. I love having my hands busy. Something about it. No wonder I had to have surgery on my hands. Okay, so that's where we started. So we need to be in this bead here. So let's go through like that. And so now we need some bugles. So we need 4 because we're at the starting point. So pick up and alternate between bugles and seed beads for a total of 4. And that one doesn't have a hole. There's 3, one more seed bead, so 3 seed beads, 4 bugles for your starting position, like that. Bring it down. Coming out this side, we're going to go in the opposite side and go through these guys here. Of course, there we go, and pull it through. I'm skipping steps here. Okay, so let's go through the bugles and make those beads pop. Like that. Let's get that bead out there, that, and pull that there, like that. And skip that 11-0, go through this bugle. That, and go through this bugle, skip that 11-0, and let's get that bead up there. So it seems a bit finicky, but it is a lot of fun, very satisfying. Like I said, I've done these with bicones. There we go. Now we need to position ourselves through that 11-0. Let me flip this, make it easier to get in from the bottom. There we go. Okay, so that's where we're at. Okay, so now we need a set of pearls. So again, if you look at your work, you've got a seed bead here and a seed bead there. So you need to attach it. So we're going to add a pearl to that and go through this. And there's our first pearl, like that. There. Okay, now we're going to add 3 pearls. So let's grab these guys. Pearl, 11-0, pearl, 11-0, pearl, and that's it. Bring it down. And so you're coming out of here, you want to connect it to the very next bead, which is this one here. And we can go through everything again and pull that. So now, so you can do these in different colors too. So like to me, I look at it and I think it's flowers. Like that's what it looks like to me. So, you know, you could do something like pink flowers and the seed beads, put them green. So that it looks like little pieces of leaves in through, you know, so you can change it up. I think the one with the bicone that I did had something like that. I'll take a quick peek on my bracelet stand and see if I have it to show you. I did it quite a long time ago when I was just learning how to do bead weaving, and it was a lot of work, but it really cemented my understanding of this weave. So, you know, it's definitely worth it. So now we need our bugles, and then that'll be it for this design. You can follow this. So we are coming out of this side here, and we're going to come around to this one here, which means we need 3 bugles and 2 seed beads. These look really small, so hopefully they're okay. Okay, we'll go through this one here. So we're coming out of that one, and we have this, and we're going to go through that one, and we're going to connect it with another bugle. So these are lovely, these 3mm bugles. I didn't even remember buying them. So I bought them from Art Beads when they had a sale, 50¢. Well, it was a $1 bead sale, but some of their stuff was 50¢. So I bought a bunch of stuff, whatever was, under $1, I bought it. And bought multiples of it. And I'm so glad I did. So I started going through my stash and going, oh, I never liked bugles, because I didn't know what to do with them. And now that I've found some designs, I'm like, this is crazy. These are great for bezeling Rivolis if you're not familiar with doing peyote and you're like frustrated and you think, it's too bad, I like to bezel this. You can bezel it with these guys. Now the 3s are small. I would prefer a 6mm, which I have some of as well. But let me get these guys in there, and so making these guys pop. And there we go. So there, let's put it this way so you can see the pattern. So you started out here, we're going to put our clasp here, and I'll show you how to do the little extension for the clasp. We'll run this through and add them. So you have like a part of a design here, but it gives you a nice stable base with these pearls. But like I said, you can actually start it here. You don't have to start it where I started it. But it gives you this like kind of what looks like a circle in the middle. And again, it's supposed to be flowers. Or I say it's supposed to be flowers. So now I'm going to bring my thread down here, and we're going to add those little connectors. So I'm coming out of this bugle. Let's see if we can get in here. And go through the 11-0. That's nice and tight. And then just weave your thread through. I think I want to be on these 2 end 11-0s. So bring your thread down to that section. So I'm going to try and go in a circular pattern. So up and down kind of thing. So up through these pearls, and then through, let's go through this 11-0. A little bit tight, but that's just because we're changing directions here. Go through this bugle, that. And go through this 11-0, through the pearls. We are just going to have enough thread. Okay, so we want to go through here like this. Okay, so now we are going to pick up a bugle, an 11-0, and a bugle. So that's all you need for this one. So we're coming out of here. We are going to go into this middle one here. Like this. It's weird how it's not sitting the way I want it, but we'll fix that. We'll come back. And we're going to pick up the same. So we're going to pick up a bugle, an 11-0, and a bugle. And we are going to go through this seed bead. And so that one's popping up a little better. It might be just because I have these, when you start getting in the 4mm pearls, sometimes they're not all the same shape. So now we're going to do the same thing we did for these. We're going to try and get that bead to pop. So we're going to come back around here through this bugle, pull it tight. We're going to skip the 11-0 and we're going to go through the bugle, that. Okay. And I'm pulling my bead up to really get it nice and pointy. We're going to skip this, and what that'll do is that'll bring this up as well, and it'll just bring it out a little bit more. If you're concerned, you can go through it. It's not a big deal. But you see how it popped that up. So it gives it more space. I know why that's like that. I should have been coming out from this side here. That's why. Maybe we can get that down here by going through this. Well, kind of coax it in there. There. Look at that. That's exactly what I wanted. So that was my mistake. I should have been going through the other way. So I should have come around this side. But there you go. There is the connection where you're going to add your clasp. So let's go ahead and switch this out for the other one. And I'll show you how to add your clasp. Super simple. I'm going to use these 11-0s. Grab this like that. And we have this lovely clasp. So this one has, let me see if I took them off of the other one. There's little jump rings. Yeah, I clipped those. I don't think they're worth saving. They're soldered too, so. Let me get my flush cutters and just clip these guys off. That. Get the next one. Oh, there's 3 on here. I'll take a look. I may have clipped the other hole on the other clasp, and let me. So it's preferable if you have a 2-hole clasp, but if you have a 3, you can definitely, switch it up. So let me see what I did for this one. Yeah, so take a look. There is no clasp. There's no 3rd hole. So I did clip it, and I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can get this in the focus. When you're working with some of these, the coating is the color. So when you go to clip it off, you have to remember that you're going to cut into the metal. So you might see, but actually you can barely see that it's kind of got like a silver gray color. So let's go ahead and clip that. Just be careful when you're using your tools. So I am going to go in this way here and kind of put my finger there to stop it from flying all over the place. And check to make sure, and there is a sharp edge there. So I'm going to see if I can get it. And then I just take I have an old bead reamer that the edge at this point is not rough anymore, but this side is really nice and new, and I just a nice there, and it's not sharp anymore. There, perfect. So let's go ahead and add this. And we need some, grab our needle from this one here. So I hope you enjoyed that. I love this bracelet design. And I know that sounds a bit conceited. My bracelet design is so beautiful. Come and join me. Oh my gosh. It's in the evening. This is like my 4th video. You're getting the unfiltered Emma now. So on this one, I did 2 seed beads on one side and 2 on the other and just went through multiple times. And it's up to you how you want to do this. Yeah. Oh, look, that one looks bent. Let's fix that. It may have got bent when I was cutting it. So I'm just going to gently see if I can adjust that without breaking it. It may have been that way. I'll have to look at the video. Check the video. Continuity error. You just see that in movies where they make a mistake in the next shot. It's like something totally different is missing. Or... So I already added 2. Then I went through my clasp and I'm adding 2 more. I'm coming into this side. I'm going to go into the other side. And you know what? I think I have it the wrong way. So I'm in the wrong hole. So good technique to do is set your stuff flat the way you want it attached and then do it. Don't do like me. I'm a bad influence on you guys. Well, we know that about the shopping. I'm on a shopping freeze, a self-imposed. I feel really bad. I've been like sorting through my beads because I have like a ton of projects on the go. So I thought, you know, it's time to clean up and go through those bins and decide which ones I'm really going to do and put away the rest. And I came across probably half of the bins, and there was maybe 50 bins. Maybe, and they're little bins like these things here, right? Little project trays, I call them. And probably half of them were color designs. So like I picked a bunch of different colors of beads and then I was going to do something with them, but never did. So now I'm just going through everything again, and we're going to do this a couple of times. I wouldn't do it this loose. This is kind of silly here. Let's get this and then hang on to it. So go through a few more times. Yeah, so I realized I have so much stuff. And you know what confirmed it even more? Is I was trying to I was trying to do some cleaning, and I decided to do the same on my channel. And I wanted to create playlists. So definitely take a look at the playlists if you haven't seen all my videos. I have 600 videos. I'll have to check and see. I was about to get 600 and I wanted to do some special giveaway thing for that celebration. So I'm going to go through a 3rd time like this. Go through this 11-0. You can see it's starting to get tight now. Through, then go through the bugle. We're going to come back to this one, so go through the bugle. That. And use my tool here. Hopefully I don't break this bugle. There. So that side is attached. So now go through the bugle. And you could probably go through that 11-0 too. That might make your thread a little more stable, but pull that tight. Pick up 2. Go through, I'm going to go through the back of the 2nd hole and pull it and add 2. And 2 11-0s. and then go through everything. So yeah, I was looking at my playlists, and one of the playlists I have is unboxings. I have over 160, and I know that I've forgotten to add stuff. So I just realized it's time for me to start making some projects. What do you think? Sound like a plan? You guys are like, no, we love your unboxings. You can't stop shopping. Oh my gosh. You know, part of the reason why I was buying a bunch of stuff was I was planning on doing workshops like I used to do before COVID hit. So I actually have a plan that I might start that again, and I have a business in town that might be interested in letting me use their shop in the evening to do these workshops. So that'd be fun. It'd be a lot of work because the workshops are easy. It's like doing this, showing you how to do it. But I like to have beads with me to sell. So I have a ton of stuff. It would be hard to decide what to bring and how to bring it, and yeah. So this part is done, this clasp, and that's how easy it is to attach. So I am just gonna find a spot here and tie it off. Go through this bugle, go through these guys, and go through this 11-0. I like to put my knots in a big bead, so that's just my thing. So we'll put it in the pearl. So go around. I'm going to do twice around. I pull it down and it's tight. And go through here. Let's see if we can get in that 11-0. Like that. And snug. And we can cut that off. So that is the one side. I won't go through the second side. It's basically the same. Just remember, unclip and test your clasp beforehand. I have a feeling this one is not coming out. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. So when you take it out, make sure you take it out and keep it in the same orientation. So maybe do something like this, and then take your bracelet and bring your bracelet around to where you need it. I'm all flipped. Okay. And just turn it like that. And you're going to add your bugles and your clasp, and that's it. So there you go, this lovely design. So there's the red. Let's take a look at the pink. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you make one of these. And definitely check out my Facebook group. I apologize, I don't do a lot with it, so it's up to you guys to share your photographs and what you're doing with your beading. And yeah, so there is this one here. Ta-da! Take care, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye.